This is my first time in jail. But these knives are 6-9 inches long sometimes, homemade with materials from the steel walls. It's very violent. There's stabbings at least a couple times a week. Heck, back in October, an inmate was charged in a murder-for-hire plot that led to the passing of a 28-year-old woman last December outside a New York City nightclub. According to prosecutors, the inmate used a contraband cell phone to orchestrate the plot from behind bars. So yes, anything can happen. What's more, investigators carried out an interagency operation to clean up the troubled New York City federal jail, and they managed to seize illegal substances, homemade weapons, and electronic devices. The raid had nothing to do with Diddy. It was only carried out to ensure the safety and security of staff and inmates at the facility, and was part of a larger safety and security initiative, and not in response to any particular threat or intelligence. And while their efforts are commendable, the point is, it's the Wild West out there. And that's exactly why one woman who lost her husband to violence at a U.S. detention center advised Diddy to not keep to himself and to not trust anybody. During an interview with Us Weekly, Ashley Cordero said, "The prison is disgusting. They have rats running through there and everything. It's disgusting inside. My husband used to sit there and say it was nasty that rats were everywhere. No human being should be living like that at all. No human being should live that way. You're not an animal. You're still a human." She also said, he, Sean Diddy Combs, should try to transfer to a different prison. My husband passed away in there. That prison is no good. Honestly, him getting denied bail be in prison, but try to transfer. That prison is obviously not safe. If so many are complaining, that says something. Unfortunately, Diddy's lawyers have been having a hard time getting him out. They requested the court to transfer his client to a prison in Essex County in New Jersey. In their motion for Combs' bail, his attorneys wrote that several courts in this district have recognized that the conditions at Metropolitan Detention Center are not fit for pretrial detention. Just earlier this summer, an inmate was murked. At least 4 inmates have passed away by blank there in the past 3 years. However, the decision was ultimately put in the hands of the Bureau of Prisons, who turned down Diddy. Now, I want to point out that Diddy's not exactly wrong to be paranoid, because he's in the same jail that held R. Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Jeffrey Epstein. Now, legal experts have already noted the similarities between Diddy's case and Epstein's.
The prosecutors in both of these cases have said that the defendants were obsessed and that they used their wealth and their power, resources, network to satisfy these desires, and more specifically for Combs.
Even an anonymous Homeland Security agent who participated in the raids on his mansion said that Diddy is as bad as Epstein. But here's where things get concerning for Diddy. Jeffrey was discovered passed away in his jail cell on August 10th, 2019. And according to reports, he did the deed himself. But over the years, fans have uncovered several clues, suggesting that might not have been the case. And it's not mere speculation, since Jeffrey did know a lot of powerful people. And if he ended up exposing them, it would have meant a lot of trouble. So of course there was a long list of people who wanted him silenced. And that's
This is my first time in jail, and it's rough. The knives here are homemade, made from materials like steel from the walls. It's a violent place. There are stabbings at least once a week. In fact, back in October, an inmate was charged with a murder-for-hire plot, which led to the death of a 28-year-old woman outside a nightclub in New York City last December. The inmate used a contraband cell phone to plan the whole thing from jail. Just recently, authorities launched a big operation to clean up a troubled New York City federal jail. They seized illegal drugs, homemade weapons, and electronic devices. The operation wasn't related to Diddy. It was a routine safety measure to protect both staff and inmates.
The big dog. Their feds know what they doing. They grabbing the big dog. When you sit at the table and you got this white person, this white person, this white person, this white person, it's gonna be 2 rich white people, and it's gonna be Diddy as their right-hand man, and they probably got another right-hand man over there. That's how I feel the table goes.
Now, fans think that Freddie was trying to hint at a deeper narrative at play here, like how when a powerful person like Diddy ends up behind bars, they become easy targets for their enemies. One person commented, "Damn, Freddie said something that went over your heads. Puffy was the bridge for hip-hop and Hollywood. So that makes Puff the biggest gatekeeper on the hip-hop black side. Yeah, they changing the regime, somebody taking Puff's spot, they don't want him there no more." And so life behind bars isn't exactly a walk in the park for Diddy. Heck, he was placed on protection watch during his initial days.
I'm wondering if that's why they placed him on suicide watch now, kind of what you were saying, protective coverage, because he is such a high-profile inmate. Do you think that could be part of it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, going from a life where you live in a mansion to going to sit in a jail facility is not something easy to deal with.
And yes, according to his attorney, Mark Agnifilo, the precaution is the protocol for new, high-profile inmate, and that Diddy was strong, healthy, confident, and focused on his defense back then. But let's admit it, Diddy's never getting used to that prison life, which is why he keeps applying for bail. He proposed a new $50 million bail package that included around-the-clock security monitoring, home detention, and restrictions on his ability to contact anyone except for his legal team. He also agreed to not have access to the internet or phone, and a pre-approved visitor list of select family members. He would also be surrendering his passports belonging to him and his family members. What's more, his legal team claimed that new evidence makes it clear that the government's case is thin against the rapper. Fans are waiting to see how the judge rules on this one. At the end of the day, no one's exactly shedding tears for the former music mogul. He ruined the lives of a lot of people, and as far as fans see it, he deserves everything that's happening to him. But what do you think? Is Diddy right to be paranoid?
An anonymous Homeland Security agent involved in the raids on Diddy's mansions has even compared him to Jeffrey Epstein, calling Diddy just as dangerous. Here's where it gets worrying for Diddy. Epstein was found dead in his jail cell on August 10, 2019. Officially, it was ruled a suicide, but over the years, fans have uncovered several clues suggesting that might not be the full story. Epstein was connected to many powerful people, and if he had exposed them, it would have caused huge problems. So, naturally, there were many who wanted to silence him. And the same could be true for Diddy.
House. We all go to Steve Rifkin's house, and there was some weird vibes going on, that I didn't really pay attention to at first. And then when Diddy came, in the party, he tried to holler at Jill Marie Jones' girlfriend. And she was like, "Get out of here, Puffy, that's my girlfriend." The nigga like, "I'm trying to put her on." You know what I'm saying? And he was making his way around the deck of the party. Like, I didn't go inside the house. It's like when we came in, we came through the back on the deck. He had a back deck. And then you could go from the back deck, you could go in the house. I was on the back deck with Boogie, Queen Latifah's girl. And we was burning the L. And then Diddy came over with, the booty goons. And he was giving me the saliva look. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how the wolf looking at the steak? You know what I'm saying? And I'm ice grilling him back like, "Yo, nigga, right?" And then, then I realized, like, oh, this nigga is like hitting on me, like, and he's standing here and he got like 3 to 5 niggas standing there and they all staring at me. Like, they was looking so hard, nigga, I put my head down. Like,
you said this is too intense, bro.
I went and grabbed Hillary. I pulled her outside, and she just thought that shit. She was tickled pink. She thought it was the funniest shit in the world. Like, "Yo, go get Kim. We out of here." I ain't even go back in. And she went and got Kim. We bounced and we left.
So he must have did that to a lot of dudes, man, and just assumed that all dudes just go for that, man, just in order to just go out and try people like that.
I would think it was my environment. It's the after party. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They probably are used to certain people coming to the exclusive party. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know where we was going. I just knew that he invited us over there, or invited Kim over there, not me, because I was with Kim. You know what I'm saying? And, we just went thinking it's another party. But I never went in the house, so I don't know what took place in the house. I'm not saying it was a freak off or not, you know what I'm saying? Because it was Steve Rifkin's house.
Fans believe Freddie was hinting at a much bigger story, suggesting that when someone as powerful as Diddy ends up in jail, they become prime targets for their enemies. One fan commented, "Damn, Freddie said something that went over your head." They pointed out that Diddy was a key figure, the bridge between hip-hop and Hollywood, making him the biggest gatekeeper in the black side of the industry. The fan suggested that there's a shift happening, a change in the power structure, and someone is trying to take Diddy's spot.
But all the alleged participants was there. You know what I'm saying? All the alleged undercover home niggas and women were there. You know what I'm saying? So he felt at home to make that move.
Do you feel Like Ja Rule was part of that. Do you know personally know Ja Rule?
Yeah, I know Ja.
Do you feel like he on that type of time?
I never seen him do anything for me to say that he's on that type of time.
Okay, got you. Yeah, Ja Rule seemed cool, man. I had him on the show and all that, man. But when that news came out, I'm like, damn, bro. I hope the homie ain't switch sides on us or nothing.
Well, what news?
What's that?
What news are you referring to?
Well, basically, those claims that Gene Deal put out there, man, about them being in the room together.
Oh, come on, when Gene Deal was guarding the freak door.
Exactly.
And Ja cousin tried to come and go in, and he's like, "Nah, nigga, it's the freak door. You can't go in." Yeah, you heard me say there's some real freaky shit going on there. But just because Ja, Diddy. Because I think they said Ja, Diddy, and 2 chicks was in the room. You know what I'm saying? So that they could have just been, I don't know what they could have been doing, but he didn't insinuate that Diddy and Ja was doing anything. He kind of made it seem like they was in there popping off with some chicks.
Okay.
So I'm not going to try to throw Ja in that mix. Now, if it was all niggas in there, then you know what I'm saying. But for me, I'm gonna give Ja the benefit of the doubt because he said it was. They asked him. I think he named who was in there, but I just can't remember. But I know it was like 2 women. It wasn't a bunch of dudes.
Like the part that's a lot of people are leaving out that it was 2 women in there. It wasn't just them 2 in there.
Yeah.
Strange things. You mentioned in one of your interviews that you feel like your career was kind of hindered because you didn't give in to zesty activities.
That's a fact.
Were you being pressured by like higher ups to kind of, do weird things, or why do you feel that way?
According to Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, being placed on protection watch is standard protocol for high-profile inmates. At the time, Diddy was described as strong, healthy, and focused on his defense. But let's be honest, prison life is something Diddy will never get used to, which is why he keeps trying for bail. He recently proposed a new $50 million bail package that included 24/7 security, home detention, restrictions on his communication to only his legal team, and a pre-approved visitor list for select family members. He also agreed to surrender his and his family's passports and have no access to the internet or phone. His legal team claims that new evidence has shown the government's case against him is weak. Fans are now waiting to see how the judge will rule. While some feel sympathy for Diddy, many fans think he deserves what's happening to him, given the lives he's allegedly ruined. But what do you think? Does Diddy have a right to be paranoid, or should he just accept his circumstances?
Business, armed to the teeth, combing through Diddy's cribs like they were on a treasure hunt. Armored vehicles patrolling the streets? Yeah, things are definitely serious. They were authorized to snatch up anything and everything. Papers, phones, laptops, basically anything that could spell trouble. And considering Cassie's claims about being pushed into making videos, who knows what they might uncover. This whole shebang is part of a bigger investigation led by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and carried out by Homeland Security. And even though Diddy himself wasn't around, his boys Justin and Christian got a taste of the action, getting cuffed up and held outside the properties. Now let's talk about producer Rodney Little Rod Jones and the wild lawsuit drama surrounding Diddy's crew. So peep this. Jones, the dude who worked on Diddy's latest album, dropped a bombshell, a whopping 75-page lawsuit spilling all the deets on some pretty sketchy stuff allegedly going down with Diddy. We're talking accusations of Diddy straight up touching Jones inappropriately, pressuring him into dealing with adult entertainers, and getting mixed up in illicit substances. Crazy, right? Now, even though Diddy's out here denying everything, Jones's lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, ain't having it. Diddy's lawyer said this: Lil Rod is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday. His reckless name dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn Blackburn refuses to return our calls. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. Now, Lil Rod's lawyer shot off a letter to the judge spilling all the tea on Diddy's shady moves. Like, apparently Diddy's squad was out here cooking up fake stories about Jones on TMZ and straight up harassing his kid and exes. He said, Mr. Jones is a father and Christian. He was willing to sacrifice his rights concerning his assault in an effort to protect his dignity and the dignity of his family. Mr. Combs was made aware of Mr. Jones' claim for assault from the moment Mr. Jones made his intentions to sue clear. And get this, Diddy allegedly tried to play puppet master, trying to get Jones to ditch his current legal team and hire someone in Diddy's pocket. Fast forward to the juicy part. Just hours before Diddy's crib got raided, Al B, sure, who's Quincy's dad and used to be Kim Porter's man, popped up on Insta dropping some cryptic messages about karma and payback. Dude's been through some heavy stuff himself and seems to think the universe has a way of balancing the scales. Now, Diddy wasn't chilling in either of his houses when the feds rolled in. It was just his sons, Justin and King Combs, holding down the fort. People were thinking Diddy was pulling a Houdini, but turns out he was just catching a flight in Miami.
Think about that for a second. This wasn't just some offhand comment. It was Jamie Foxx, one of the most loved actors, comedians, and musicians, accusing one of the biggest moguls in hip-hop of trying to poison him. The audience was stunned. Was he joking? Or was he serious? Eyewitnesses couldn't agree. One source said Fox's tone seemed like he was making a joke, while another insisted it was clear he was dead serious. The confusion was overwhelming, and Diddy's camp quickly dismissed the accusations, calling them completely baseless.
Houston, I'm licensed in Texas and in New York. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. Conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years, and we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter, no matter who the evidence implicates.
The entertainment industry is cooked. Can you imagine how many other famous people and big executives are probably involved in this?
These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed. The wall of silence has now been broken and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us, people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. We now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs.
So they said they vetted. That's what cut out right there, but they were vetted. 120 people.
Claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. We also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts, we check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times, it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against.
Wait, is there anyone in support of Diddy? Is that a thing? Does Diddy actually have diehard fans that aren't like shitting on him right now? I've literally never seen a single one. Everyone's just like, yeah, this guy's psycho.
As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. It is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida.
This guy's menace.
I don't want to focus on the ages of these victims. When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old.
Okay, I didn't know about that. I thought what? I swear in my life I did not know about that part. Oh no.
We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of.
This guy is a disturbed psych.
But the rumors didn't stop there. As Diddy's legal troubles grew, his past associations and actions came under intense scrutiny. One particularly vocal security guard, Big Homie CC, claimed that Fox had confided in him about being poisoned by Diddy. CC doubled down on these claims in interviews, saying Fox's supposed FBI report wasn't just a rumor, it was serious. He described heavily armed teams combing through Diddy's properties like they were on a treasure hunt, even patrolling the streets in armored vehicles. Authorities were authorized to seize anything that could cause trouble, including papers, phones, and laptops. With accusations like Cassie's about being pressured into making videos, who knows what they might uncover? This whole situation is part of a larger investigation led by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York.
The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. When you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they call a puppy party, the all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star, or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape, or even let them read for Sean Combs.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing the 9-year-old was promised a record deal and then by Diddy.
Some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know. Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with. You should know that more than 55% of the victims reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team assistants medical records who did in fact seek medical treatment, were drug tested. Drugs were found in their system, weird drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine, or Trank, which based on our research is known. There's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action. Class action is when one or two people file a case on behalf of a group of people. That's not this. These cases will be individual cases. Each case will live and die on its own merit. These cases will be filed individually, one plaintiff against whoever the defendants were involved in the case.
Holy shit.
That I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already.
Bro, you know there's famous people out there that are shaking in their boots that did shit with Diddy. They're probably in jail.
So I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. And I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on. I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but will also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones witnessing other people being used and then paid and threatened and told to leave, typically paid 10 grand in cash.
With Homeland Security involved. Even though Diddy wasn't present, his sons, Justin and Christian, were caught up in the raid, getting arrested outside the properties.
So you said that Denzel Washington wasn't down with the program, the Diddy program.
Well, no. My friend had to do a number 2 and she was on stage. And he wouldn't let her be relieved, and so she ended up doing it on stage in front of everybody, and it was a wet one. And it went everywhere. It was so nasty, and Denzel was disgusted. He grabbed his wife and was like, "You don't respect nobody," and ran up out of there.
Did you see people react like that a lot, or were most people going with the flow?
It was so much going on. The people that noticed reacted, but it was just so much going on. If you weren't right there in that vicinity, you didn't even know. It was too much going on. But yeah, everybody, and everybody was just walking around zombied out. Like after a certain time, when you would make the announcement, if you don't, the regular party's over, if you don't want to participate in what goes on after. It's just interesting. I just want to bring up Justin Bieber for a second. Shout out to Justin Bieber, man. I'm a Justin Bieber fan. I want to work with him. Man, I have such empathy for you. You are a strong person, Justin. Shout out to you in your heart. You sing when I hear the pain. Now when I listen to your music, I hear the pain in your voice, Justin. All you wanted to do was sing. Your mother caught you playing your guitar, singing, and thought, let me help my son out. Let me focus on what God, let me nurture this talent. And she thought she was doing the right thing by taking that video to Scooter Braun. And I'm sure Scooter Braun probably thought he was doing the right thing taking to Usher. But Usher, why you do him like that? You need to get slapped or something, Usher. You knew what Diddy was going to do to him. What'd you get by taking him over there? And then you had the nerve, he signed to you. So you've been making money off of him after you get him abused like that? You owe him all his money back. Are you Diddy number 2, 3, 4, Usher? Running around here. I mean, this is ridiculous, y'all. Hey, I'm on a live, y'all. Stop calling me when I'm on a live. That's disrespectful. I'm on live. Stop calling me.
Jaguar Wright is watching. She's in the chat.
Hi, Jaguar. I love you. Oh, I love if I can work with her. She sings so good. When she... Hey, tell Fox to stop calling me. Jaguar Wright is on the... Tell him to keep calling.
Purple Rain.
Tell him to stop. He keep calling. He called 5 times. I don't even know what... Man, he gonna make me talk mess. Tell him to stop. That's ridiculous. Hey, Jaguar. Yeah, I just want to say, man, your voice is amazing. Your strength is amazing.
Diddy's paranoia reportedly reached new heights while he was in prison. He refused meals, drank only bottled water, and kept a constant watch on his surroundings.
Upcoming Halloween party featuring Chris Brown. It looks like it's going to be crazy. You had made mention about Jamie Foxx, or he had made mention himself in a special talking about his almost losing his life. And his hospitalization was due to Diddy. There are stories of him getting beat up and getting put, but I know he was on a movie set, but something from an altercation or something from drug related that was
Diddy
given to him.
will pull up and get wild with you by himself. Like he's not soft. So that's the whole thing with him. Like,
He'll pull up and take something like it.
Bro, he'll pull up and, bro, he slapped Drake.
He did, and everyone looked over that.
Oh, I'm not gonna call him a gangster. But he be on some tough shit, bro. And it'll piss you off. Like with his son with the lip gloss on and the waves all the time.
Yeah.
He sweat, he a gangster, bro. I been like, bro, we'll get crazy with you in here.
I mean, anyone who probably do a lot of cocaine will feel all kind of invincible. Will feel all kind of courageous.
With money?
With money, I believe they'll do a lot. They're outside of normal man, who's rational. and just say, let me post up. But let me get your take on with Jamie Foxx, because mind you, Diddy parties and Jamie Foxx parties were the 2 black Hollywood elite parties that you would always hear about. That was like, you gotta be there to see it. For him to say that I was hospitalized possibly because of something that happened with Diddy.
He thought he was gonna tell.
Go.
So look, I'm a shout out Big Duga, my right hand man. Shout out folks. He have a very interesting Jamie Foxx story. I don't know if you know about this or seen it.
No.
Give us a Cliff Notes.
I'm gonna let him come on here and tell that, but I'll say this though.
I know he said something about Jamie Foxx in a bathroom.
It wasn't Jamie Foxx in the bathroom, it was his party.
Okay, it was his party, and then the bathroom situation went down.
Allegedly, he told fellow inmates, "They're trying to get me." His actions had many questioning. Was this fear a result of guilt, or was there something more sinister going on?
They were in a private area. Allegedly, Mr. Combs made the victim.
This is like actually fucking baffling. I thought it was just 100 more allegations. I didn't know that minors were involved in this. This is blowing my mind right now.
An individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual minor was, and then other individuals took turns. Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain
Oh, I don't even know. I'm speechless.
She then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, was attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out and she woke up in the same bed, again allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her hands were torn and sore. And I could go on. I mean, literally, you're sensing a theme here. It's the same theme, and it all involves some sort of drug. Individual who was 20 years old at the time was asked to attend, just saw her on the street, asked to attend a party in a hotel. She was flattered, went to the party, was given one drink and doesn't remember anything else. Ultimately, went to the hospital where they found her blood system.
I mean, this guy's... If all of this is true and evidence, and he said they got pictures, they got everything, they got a bunch of evidence, this guy's actually the devil, like straight up. This is some of the most disturbing shit you could possibly do to another human being, especially a child. That caught me so off guard. Love you guys. Hit subscribe. Peace out. Child. That caught me so off guard. Love you guys.
And then the internet exploded. Social media.
Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty.
Busby also suggested that some of these celebrity friends are even paying off the alleged victims to ensure their names are removed from the list of those accusing Diddy. This situation has escalated since Diddy's arrest, during which he has faced numerous lawsuits from individuals who claim he misconducted them. As these legal battles unfold, troubling allegations have surfaced, indicating that his well-known friends may have been aware of Diddy's actions, often referred to as his freak-offs. These friends are now seemingly scrambling to delete any evidence that might implicate them. During an interview with the Law and Crime Network, Busby expressed his strong belief that many of these celebrity associates are indeed scrubbing their social media.
We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit.
He noted that they might be searching through their memories and deleting texts, photos, and any other information that could connect them to Diddy's legal issues. Busby stated, "I have no doubt that there are people right now who know that they were somehow involved in this." He warned that although this process of uncovering the truth will take time, they are just beginning to scratch the surface of the situation. Busby highlighted the difficulties victims face when coming forward about their experiences. He emphasized the importance of resolving these matters without public lawsuits, as it is often in the best interest of the victims.
If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you.
To that end, Busby has already managed to settle cases with several individuals, many of whom are known figures in the entertainment industry.
And then the internet exploded. Social media.